Hello, everyone, and welcome to graduation orientation. We are going to give it just a couple more minutes because in case there's some folks that are joining us just a little bit late. So hang tight. We'll get started in 1 or 2 more minutes. Okay, folks, I think we're going to go ahead and jump on and get started. So first off, my name is Sarah Nospilius. I am the Administrative Director for our Business Honors Program, but I am not the only one on this call today. Actually, all of your academic advisors are on here. They are acting as moderators for the chat. So if you do have a question, you can go ahead and put it in that chat, and one of our moderators will work hard, furiously answering those questions for you. If you do ask a question that may be covered later on in the presentation, they may just tell you to hang tight. Then at the very end of the session, they will let me know what the most common questions have been so that I can answer some of those live for you guys. All right, well, to start off, first off, we just want to say congratulations. We know how hard that y'all have to work to get through to graduate from college. We're your advisors. We see you struggle. We see you when you're working so hard to have that internship and be in class. And so we want to say congratulations, and we're really, really proud of you. So what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about how to apply for graduation, the actual certification process, so what goes into actually having your degree awarded so you get that piece of paper mailed to you at home. We're going to talk about some fun stuff, the cap and gown, spirit cords, honor standing. We're going to give you a little introduction to the University of Houston Alumni Association, the Bauer College Alumni Association, and all that fun stuff. And then we'll do some question and answer. All right, so first things first, you have to apply for graduation. If you don't apply for graduation, you don't graduate. So that is probably the most important thing to get out of today's session, is to please go to your MyUH and apply for graduation. And we're going to show you exactly where you need to go in just a second here. The regular filing period is until October 8th, so that's the first deadline. We really, really suggest that you apply by then. Because otherwise you're in the late filing period, and then it's a $50 fee versus a $25 fee. So save that $25 and apply before October 8th. I would encourage you to go ahead and apply today. The application fee is non-refundable, so if something happens and you're disapproved for graduation, unfortunately you don't get that fee back. Also, late applications are not accepted, so please make sure to apply before that October 29th date. If you miss that date, contact your advisor so you can discuss your options. One other really important thing to be aware of: once you apply for graduation, you cannot withdraw your application. So if you're saying, oh, well, I have this fantastic supply chain class, maybe I want to add a double major in supply chain or a minor. Unfortunately, if you've already applied for graduation, you cannot do that. You're not able to withdraw that graduation application. So instead, we're going to encourage you to look at some of our Masters of Science programs in those areas, which we are going to talk about a little bit later on. If you see any type of issue, or if your program or plan is not correct when you go to apply for graduation, please contact your academic advisor immediately so we can figure out how to address that for you. Okay, so first off, how do you apply? You're going to go to your MyUH account through Access UH. You're going to click on the advising tile, and then you'll see a little link that says apply for graduation. From there, it's going to ask you to select the semester. It'll ask you to verify that your major and minor are correct. Again, if it's not correct, contact your academic advisor right away so that we can make any changes that are needed. So let's say maybe you were thinking that you were going to complete a finance minor, but you decided not to. Before you apply for graduation, let your advisor know so that we can try to correct that for you. Okay. Then from there, it'll ask you whether or not you plan to participate in the ceremony. It will also give you a little place where you can put in a phonetic spelling for the pronunciation of your name so that they can announce it correctly when you walk across the stage. And then you click submit, and it'll then show as pending. Pending is normal. Pending means you've done it correctly. It's a pretty easy process. In fact, it's so easy that sometimes I'll have students that do it and then they contact me and like, Sarah, I don't think I did it right. Can you check? And it's because it's a pretty quick process. All right, so that's the #1 thing that you need to make sure to do is apply for graduation. The commencement ceremony, that's the fun part, right? That's the walking across the stage. That is, according to the university calendar, scheduled for December 17th through the 19th. We don't know the exact date, but that is when all of the UH graduation ceremonies are going to be held. So if you are trying to have family come in from out of town, that kind of thing, you can tell them that it's going to be sometime in that window, but we do not know the exact date yet. We also do not know the exact format, location, all of those details are going to be coming soon. And you can check on our website for up-to-date information about the ceremony. I will be going over the link where you can find that soon. Okay, in order to participate in the ceremony, you have to have regalia. Where do you get this regalia? So Harif Jones is our official regalia seller for University of Houston, and you must have official regalia, okay? It must be the UH cap and gown with the UH on the sleeve. So this shows you a picture of that. There is a graduation fair that's taking place October 5th through 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the bookstore. So you can get more information on all of the different options for things for you to purchase, like graduation invitations, stoles, all of that. But the main thing to be aware of is that you must have a UH custom cap and gown in order to participate. We do often get questions about borrowing. As long as it was a UH cap and gown, so it looks like this picture here, that is okay. And I will show you the Harif Jones website, should pop up. So you can see this is their website. You can go in and go ahead and shop for the cap and gown and announcements. They even have cool t-shirts. So definitely check that out. This goes over the different packages. So real quick, if you want to get out your camera and take a picture of this or take a screenshot, here are all of the various packages and costs. You can get things like thank you notes, graduation announcements, all sorts of great fun stuff. And then if you just want to buy just the cap and gown, this gives you the cost on that. Also, make sure that you are buying the tassel that is for Bauer. Our tassel is the royal blue colored tassel. You also have the option to get the graduation stoles, honors cords, diploma covers, announcements. So all of those you can buy individually as well. If you have questions, you can contact the UH bookstore or Harif Jones directly. And the cap and gown itself is $74. Those cool stoles that I see a lot of students wear that have the UH on them, those are $30. And they're really meant to be a tribute to important people in your life. So like you can say, I'm wearing this for my mom or my grandma or whoever it was that helped you get through. Maybe your advisor. And then the Latin honors are a double cord. That it is the same cord for every level of Latin honors. I will talk about the various levels of Latin honors at the end. Okay, so let's talk about the actual certification process. So I've already told you guys about the first deadline, which is October 8th. So that really is the date you want to apply by in order to only pay a $25 fee versus a $50 fee. So what happens after you submit that application? I already told you it's going to show as pending, and that's normal. It's going to show as pending all the way through until the very end of the semester when your advisor actually reviews your grades for that semester to ensure that you've completed everything that you need for graduation. If there is an issue that comes up that may result in disapproval, you would not be notified until much later in the semester. So what we want from you is, if you know that something may be going wrong, please keep us in the loop and let us know what's happening. For example, if you're not doing too well in a course and you decide to W drop it, you really want to let your advisor know that, because then that means that your advisor is going to need to disapprove your graduation. If there's something you're concerned about, if you think you might not meet a certain GPA that you're going to need for graduation, let your advisor know so that we can talk through it with you. So it's something that's important to be aware of. You will not see any change in your graduation status until you are formally approved or disapproved, which typically, unless you let us know there's an issue and we disapprove you, you won't see an approval until after grades post for the semester. And if you want to verify that you are enrolled in all the appropriate classes, you can do a graduation check with your academic advisor. So schedule an appointment on Navigate. You can also email them so that we can help you and make sure that you are properly enrolled. So at the close of the semester, you are going to want to check your grades. Now, when I say check your grades, I mean check your grades in MyUH. MyUH is the official record for you. I know grades get posted on Blackboard as well. And Blackboard, though, is not the official posting of grades for the university. So even if your grade is showing in Blackboard, it may not be showing yet in MyUH. And you may also want to verify that the grade that's in Blackboard is the same as the one that shows up on MyUH. So at that point, your advisor is going to check to see that you've completed all of your courses that are needed for your major or minor, that you've successfully completed those with passing grades. They're also going to check your GPAs. They're going to check multiple GPAs for you. Your UH cumulative GPA, that's your overall GPA from all of the classes you've taken at University of Houston, that needs to be over a 2.0. Your major GPA, which are going to be the grades for all of the courses in your major, that needs to be above a 2.0. And then your minor GPA, if you have a minor, would also need to be above a 2.0. They're also going to make sure that you have at least 120 total hours that's required to graduate. The 30-hour residency rule, your last 30 hours are typically required to be taken at University of Houston. However, there is an exception to that for core classes. You are allowed to take up to 6 hours of core classes outside of U of H. So if you have any questions about that, please contact your academic advisor. There is also, if y'all remember, the BWE and BWT, which the Bauer Writing Evaluation and the Bauer Writing Tutorial, which you took way back when you took BUSI 3302. For many of you, you took it as Gen B 3302. So that does need to make sure to be cleared. So if you, for whatever reason, didn't take it as part of the 3302 class, you would need to make sure to take it so that you could graduate. Or if you needed the tutorial and haven't completed it yet, you need to make sure to take care of that. So at the close of the semester, your advisor will check all of those things. If everything looks good, your advisor will submit your graduation as approved to the registrar's office. The registrar's office then confers that degree, and then your diploma is mailed from a third-party vendor. If you need employment verification, graduation verification for employment, there is a website to do that from. So take a picture of it here. It's www.studentclearinghouse.org. So that is where, if you have that fantastic job offer, but they just need to verify that you do have a degree, that's where they would go. The actual diploma itself can take up to 2 to 3 months from the close of the semester. If you have questions on that, you can contact the UH registrar's office at 713-743-1010. Okay. So what happens if you're disapproved? Okay, so this could be because maybe you didn't complete a course that semester. Maybe you were actually missing something. Basically, as soon as you are aware that there may be a problem, we want you to contact your advisor right away. So this could also be, maybe you were planning to complete that finance minor but never did, and so that's an easy fix. Your advisor just needs to help you get it removed, things like that. So schedule an advising appointment as soon as possible using Navigate. If your issue cannot be resolved, then your advisor is going to need to disapprove your graduation. The main reason we really need to disapprove your graduation sooner rather than later in these situations is because students who have applied for graduation don't get an enrollment appointment for the following semester. So it's super, super important that we're able to disapprove you so that you can then get an enrollment appointment and register for classes for the spring in order to complete whatever it is you're missing. Also, it's important to be aware that you have to reapply for graduation. So just because you've applied once, that's not like it stays open the whole time. You're applying for a specific semester. So if you apply for this semester for fall and it's disapproved and you're going to go ahead and take what you need and graduate in the spring, you're going to need to reapply for spring graduation. And yes, that does unfortunately mean that you're going to have another graduation fee due, application fee. Okay, at the close of the semester, check your grades. Again, if you see that anything is not showing as a passing grade, you want to contact your advisor right away. Or if you knew you needed at least a B, let's say, in a class in order to make that 2.0 GPA for your major or minor and you didn't get that, obviously you want to contact your advisor at that point as well. Okay. Graduating with honors. And when I talk about honors, I'm talking about the Latin honors. Some of you who know me as your advisor and are in the honors college, you'll graduate with university honors from the honors college, but that is separate from the Latin honors. Latin honors is going to be listed in the program. In the program for the ceremony itself, that is totally unofficial. That is really for you and your family to celebrate your accomplishments. But it actually, like, participating in the ceremony and what's listed in the ceremony program really means nothing. Like I said, it's really just for show. It's for you and your family. What really matters is what's on your final transcript, and that you do have that degree conferred and get the piece of paper in the mail saying that you've graduated. So in the program, they will use the grades that you've received up until your final semester, because at the time of graduation, typically your final grades have not posted yet. So it's not uncommon for students' Latin honors standing to change once those grades do post. For the ceremony itself, typically for our in-person ceremony, students will receive a walk card and it will have the Latin honors standing on it. If you've done a calculation yourself, because you know what you're going to get for this semester, and you feel like you're going to have a higher Latin honors standing, we do allow you to write that in when you check in for the ceremony. Again, ceremony is completely unofficial. It is for you and your family. So what is said at the ceremony is not what's officially on your record. Okay, so how is graduating with honors calculated? They only use your last 54 hours of credit. Okay, so even though your overall GPA may be a 3.9, if the GPA in your last 54 hours is a 3.8, you wouldn't qualify for that summa cum laude standing. You'd qualify for magna cum laude. Now, it's quite often the case where the 54th hour is going to fall in the middle of a semester, and in which case they're going to include all of the grades from that semester. So if you want to do this calculation yourself, start by looking at how many hours you're in this semester. Put those in. So if you're in 15 hours, you put in 15 hours. Count backwards from there semester to semester by semester until you hit 54 hours. The 54th hour falls in the middle of a semester. Include everything from that semester. And then if that calculation comes out to a 3.9 to 4.0, then you have the highest level of honors. Congratulations, you're fantastic, summa cum laude. A 3.7 to a 3.89, that's magna cum laude, still pretty fantastic. And then a 3.5 to a 3.69 would be cum laude. Again, still super awesome. We do have a really cool GPA calculator to help you calculate that. So again, take a screenshot of this so you have it. I'll click on it so you can see what it looks like. What's good about this calculator as well is that we all know we've had this interim grading policy now for several semesters. So this is going to allow you to even put in the S grades or the NCR grades so that you can actually get a real calculation, which includes those. So you would put in, okay, so this semester I think I'm going to get, let's pretend you're only in 9 hours, so this is a little easier for us. But you would go that and say, okay, I think I'm going to get these grades this semester. Then last semester, you know, I had a 3-hour course that I did an S for, and then I had an A, and then another A, and so on. And you can do this all the way through, and at the end you'll hit calculate. It'll tell you exactly what that GPA is and how many hours have been applied to that. So for those S grades, they go into the total number of hours that are being used to hit the 54 hours, but since they're S's, they are not factored into your GPA calculation. I hope that makes sense. We always get a lot of questions about that. So I'm sure you're probably frantically typing them into the chat right now. So I'll try to address any questions that have come up on that at the end. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay, something else to be aware of. The state of Texas has this really cool thing called a tuition rebate. The tuition rebate is designed for students that have been really efficient in completing their degree, and it actually allows you to get $1,000 back from the state of Texas for doing that. So it's pretty cool. However, not that many students qualify because the restrictions are pretty strict. You have to have graduated within 4 years of when you started your degree. And you also can have no more than 3 hours past the minimum number of hours that are needed for the degree. So the business degree requires 120 hours. That means you can't have more than 123 hours in order to qualify. And that would include repeated courses, W drops, NCRs, all of that. It gets included in the 120 hours. What doesn't get included is any dual credit that you have from high school and your first 9 hours of AP credit. So if you're able to subtract that out and you come up with 123 hours or less, you may qualify. And here is the link. It'll take you to a form that you fill out that then gets processed, and well, it gets checked over and reviewed by the provost's office, and then you would potentially see that tuition rebate come onto your record. If you do have student loans, the rebate is actually automatically applied to your student loans before so you wouldn't actually see it. If you don't have any student loans, then you actually get that $1,000 on your account. Okay, so that's the tuition rebate. Finally, there are some required surveys and assessments for graduating seniors. Because you guys are graduating in the fall, y'all are lucky. There's only one for you guys. And it's from Rockwell, because we want to know what you're doing after graduation. So this data is used in a number of ways. One of the best ways it's used is for you guys and future students to see kind of what the average starting salaries are, to help you in that salary negotiation process. We also use this data for accreditation and rankings purposes. So it's really, really important that we have this information, which is why we do make it a graduation requirement to complete the survey. So please make sure to complete that survey before graduation. If you are still looking for a job right now, you don't have to do it today, because we would want to have the most up-to-date information for you. So if you do have that job offer, go ahead and fill it out right now. If you're still looking and still recruiting, then wait until we get closer to the end of the semester. And if at the very, very end of the semester, just before graduation, you're still seeking, you can actually fill it out and say still seeking. We would also want you to report if you're in the PPA program and you're going into the MS accountancy, you can put that. If you're planning to go into any other type of graduate program, you can also put that in. Or if you're like, no, I'm going to go travel the world, there's actually, so you can say I'm not seeking, I have other plans. You can also find this link in our graduation checklist website. So this actually may be a good time for me to show you the graduation checklist website. I wanted to pull that up for you guys. I'll show you that. So this is from our Bauer undergraduate website. So the first thing you see is about graduation orientation. It gives you this fantastic checklist, which actually goes over all of the things that I just went over. It also gives you a link to the ceremony information page. Remember I said we don't really have any information on the ceremony yet. If you click on this link, it's going to give you that information. Right now, it still has all the information from last year. So in the future, this will be updated and you can come back here to find that information. It's also going to go over all the graduating with honors information I went over, and it'll give you the link to the tuition rebate. But where I really came here for was in order to show you guys that you can also find a link to that You Hire post-graduation outcome survey there as well. All right. Okay. Oh, it looks like we went backwards a bit. Apologies. That was the required survey. So now I'm going to move on to talk about some information for those of you who might want to continue on after graduation into our Masters of Science programs or our MBA programs. We have Masters in Science programs for all of the different areas of business, as well as both a part-time and a full-time MBA program. If you are interested, you can RSVP to one of the events that our graduate programs is putting on. And that would be through the graduate program website, which we will have a link to here in just a moment. So this gives you a little bit more information about, first off, I believe this is for our MBA program. Gives you average student age, average years of work experience, average GMAT score, and gives you information to who to contact if you have questions about those programs. There are something cool for y'all to be aware of. There are some waivers for the GMAT and GRE for students who have graduated from UH main campus. Typically, it's above a 3.6 cumulative GPA, would allow you to be eligible for a GMAT or GRE waiver, depending on which program you're applying to. So this information is for our MBA program. So we have a full-time MBA program, which starts every fall semester. So you could not go into that program for the spring. There's also the professional MBA program, which is the part-time program, which does admit for spring. Then it talks about some application deadlines. You would apply online and submit transcripts, your GMAT or GRE score, unless you qualified for a waiver, your resume, your goal statement, and letters of recommendation. Those exact requirements for the letters of recommendation will vary by program. And then the deadline's October 1st for international applicants. This is for spring, or November 1st for domestic applicants. So there's still time if you wanted to go ahead and apply for one of our MBA or MS programs. This lists out all of the different specialized master's programs that we do have. So business analytics, finance, global energy management, MIS, marketing, management, and leadership, which is actually an online program, and supply chain management. And something to be aware of, starting last fall, several of these programs went down to only 30 credit hours. So that's pretty easy to complete. So 30 hours is not a ton. Classes are generally taught in the evenings, and all of the MS programs have both fall and spring starts. And then it gives you a breakdown of about what that tuition would be for those programs. So something to keep in mind. Then also, we really want to encourage you guys to get involved and stay active as alumni. So you have a couple of different ways that you can be involved, certainly through our Bauer College Alumni Association, and it's going to give you the link for that right here. So again, take a picture of that, reference it for future. So different opportunities with the Bauer College Alumni Association. You can volunteer, you can attend events. They put on different networking events, different happy hours. You can sign up for their monthly newsletter and stay connected. And then this next slide goes over some of the Alumni Association officers and committee chairs. And so these would be committees that you could potentially get involved in after graduation and help stay connected to the Bauer College. We also then have the UH Alumni Association. The Bauer Alumni Association is part of the UH Alumni Association. Again, take a picture. This is all of the different hashtag social medias and websites that you can go to for the Bauer Alumni Association. And then I also have a link for you guys to the UH Alumni Association. So again, take a picture of that one. And the UH Alumni Association are actually the folks that do handle the class rings. I know a lot of you guys are really interested in getting those class rings, so I want to tell you a little bit more about that. There's actually a ring order event going on right now. Today is the last day, but you still have time. It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. today at O'Quinn Great Hall in the Athletics Alumni Center. That is the building right next to the stadium. And then you would want to save the date if you order a ring for the guarding of the rings at the Houston Zoo on Friday, December 10th. That's where Shasta, the real cougar that they have at the Houston Zoo, guards those rings for us. And then the ring pickup celebration on Saturday, December 11th, which will be held somewhere on the UH campus. And more information on that would be coming from the Alumni Association later on. We also wanted to share with you, there is a YouTube webinar that you can view that was put together by the Alumni Association in fall 2020 about how to order your ring. And so it includes a lot of questions, different sample pictures, how you can size your ring at home. So we wanted to give you the link to that as well. So that's UH2U Put a Ring on It on YouTube. So if you want more information, you can check that out. And then here's the actual website for the class rings from the UH Alumni Association. So this is where you would go to get more information as well. I also want to talk about Cougar Spirit cords. These are pretty cool. So this is where you can make a very small donation to the program of your choice, any U of H program. I would love for you to make a donation to the Bauer Business Honors Program or the Everett Gardner Freshman Mentoring Program of any amount you like. And for doing so, you get a Cougar Spirit cord. This is a symbol of your pride of being a UH grad. And it's a cord that you can wear at graduation. The minimum donation is $15. You could do one in honor of your class, like $20.21, or really any amount of your choosing. And again, that can go to any college or program of your choice, and then you get to wear that fantastic cord at the ceremony. So again, take a picture of this. You can come back and order that Cougar Spirit cord. And to pick it up, the Office of Annual Giving will notify you to let you know the pickup dates and locations, and they'll do that closer to the commencement ceremony. And then if you want it mailed, you can email annualgiving@uh.edu. All right, we are close to the end here, guys. I just have some reminders. The application deadline, again, the most important thing that you guys have to do is apply for graduation. You could walk across the stage, you could have mom and dad take those pictures, you can order a cap and gown. If you do not apply for graduation, you do not get the piece of paper saying that you've graduated, and your transcript won't show that you have a degree. So applying for graduation is the #1 thing you need to remember to do. Again, you want to do that by October 8th. In order to pay only $25. If you wait until after October 8th, you can still apply late through October 29th for $50. After that, you cannot apply through MyUH any longer, so please contact your academic advisor to discuss what your options might be. And then graduation ceremonies are still to be determined, the exact dates and times. Previously, I showed you the Bauer commencement website, but the one listed now is the UH commencement website. So that's where you could go to find just general updates for all of the different UH ceremonies. Some reminders for any questions. If you want to discuss your specific situation, if you want to make sure that you do in fact have all of the requirements met for graduation, make an appointment with your advisor. Your advisor is going to post those appointments and Navigate for the upcoming week. If you have any questions, please contact your advisor. And then again, just a reminder, please, please, please apply for graduation before October 29th. All right, questions. Did one of my producers want to tell me some of the common questions we've been getting?
Yes, Sarah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Bethany. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Can you go over again one more time the difference in the cumulative, your major, minor GPAs, and then how to calculate Latin honors?
Okay, so your cumulative GPA is all of the classes you've taken at University of Houston. It does not count any prior credits, any transfer work, any AP or dual credits. So it's only classes you've taken here at University of Houston. Now, if you took them at U of H before you were a business major, if they were taken at U of H, they still count towards that GPA. Major GPA is going to be courses that are in your major. So if you were, say, a marketing major, they would be classes with the MARK course rubric. Anything that you've taken that's the MARK course rubric is going to go into that. Same thing with the minor. If you're a finance minor, any course that has the FINA course rubric for finance is going to go into that finance minor GPA. All of those, so your cumulative GPA, your major GPA, your minor GPA have to be above a 2.0 in order to graduate. Let's say you have a minor and you're seeing, oh my gosh, I have an accounting minor and I'm realizing it's going to be below a 2.0. What do I do? Well, we could potentially take that minor off so you could still graduate. So that's when you want to talk to your academic advisor. Okay, Latin honors. Latin honors can be really confusing. So it's not based on your overall cumulative GPA. It's only based on the last 54 hours that have been taken here at U of H. So again, to calculate that, you want to start with the classes that the grades you think you're going to receive this semester. So input those into that really cool graduate calculator I showed you. I'll go back to that page. There it is. So you're going to input them into this really cool graduation UHGPA calculator. Sorry, guys. You're going to go ahead and input that class by class. So you would start by estimating what grades you're going to receive in, say, the 4 classes you're in right now. So you'd put those in. Then you'd go, okay, what did I take a summer class? Yes, okay, so I took 3 hours in the summer. What was my grade in that class? And then I took 15 hours last spring. I'm going to put in those 15 hours. So you would keep doing that semester by semester until you get to 54 hours. Now, for many of you, it's not going to be exactly 54 hours. It may be 62 hours or 68 hours. It just depends on how many classes you took in that semester where the 54th hour falls. So you do that calculation, and then above, I'll show you the standings again as well. So 3.9 to 4.0 would be summa, 3.7 to 3.8 would be magna, 3.5 to 3.9 would be cum laude. Did I sufficiently cover that, Bethany?
Yes,
okay.
That works. And just to clarify again, because we had a couple questions about this, so official grades are typically not due until after the graduation ceremony. I know that's a little strange too. So as far as ordering your honors cords, we would recommend you calculate that on your own, and you have to guesstimate what your final grades are going to be for this semester. And if you think you're going to qualify, go ahead and order one of those cords. Because again, whatever is reported at graduation is not actually official until your official grades are posted, which will be a week or so typically after graduation. Yep. And then let me see what else we had. The deadline for ordering your cap and gown is November 21st. So as long as you do it before then, you'll get your regalia on time for the grad commencement ceremony. It is open now, so you can go ahead and do that now. And then we did have a question, Sarah. I don't know if you know the answer to this. How long a student has access to their MyUH account or Bauer Gateway, that kind of stuff after they graduate?
So I'm a graduate. I have a master's from University of Houston. I still have access to my UH account, so I think that stays forever. Career Gateway, I believe, goes away, but you do have access to certain things as an alumnus. I don't think it's Career Gateway though. I'd have to look at the Rockwell Career Counseling website to see what you do still have. But you do still have some services. You could go to the Rockwell Career Center's website and then click on the alumni tab to see what services they provide to alumni.
Hey, Sarah and Bethany, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm just going to chime in for that. As alumni, you can certainly use the UH Career Services Center and their online services, and they will have internships and also job listings posted through there. So as alumni, you can certainly use that feature. I believe it is available for students up to a year.
Awesome. Thank you, Arlene. Anything else we should cover, Bethany?
Yes, if we can go over how students get certificates. So if they're doing like a finance specialty track certificate or supply chain entrepreneurship.
Okay, absolutely, yes. Okay, so let me start with finance because finance is a little different from some of the others. If you have one of the tracks within finance, so like global energy management, risk management and insurance, personal financial planning, you actually have a separate non-degree seeking program that needs to be added to your record. If you have not added that to your record yet, you need to contact your advisor immediately. And then what will actually happen is you'll need to apply for graduation twice. Once for your BBA, so once for your BBA in finance, and then again for the certificate, the non-degree objective certificate in whatever it is, risk management, insurance, global energy management, personal financial planning. I'm sure I'm missing commercial banking. So that's super, super important for our finance majors to be aware of. The other programs, so if you're doing like say the HR track within management or the leadership track, that is just on your record and it's not something that you have to apply separately for. The entrepreneurship certificate, there is a link that you can go to on the entrepreneurship program's website in order to request that certificate. What certificates? Oh, the supply chain certificates. Those I believe are automatically sent to you by the department. Do I have that correct?
Yes, Sarah, you do.
Thank you. So those you don't have to do any type of application for. The digital marketing certificate, there is a website that you have to go to for that as well. So if you don't have that website, email the marketing advisor and I'm sure she'll be able to get it for you. Or if you're a Bauer Honor student, email me or Colleen and we'll be able to get that sent to you. But there is also a website you have to go to for that. Am I missing any certificates?
I think you covered it.
Okay.
Or those are the ones we got asked about, so that was good.
Okay.
We are getting a lot of questions about class rings. It would be just best for you guys to contact the Houston Alumni Association office for that stuff, just because we're not super familiar with all of their policies as far as ordering and when you can and post-graduation stuff if you wanted to order it later. So just make sure you're contacting that office since they handle all of the class ring stuff. If you need to make changes to your grad application, if you've already submitted it, you'll need to contact the registrar's office to do that. They are the ones that handle all of the grad applications, so any changes made, you'll need to contact them ASAP, definitely before they mail any diplomas or anything like that. If you have more questions about Latin honors, or if you think you might qualify and you want to double check, definitely set up an appointment with your advisor, or you can email us and we can definitely go over that with you one-on-one, just to see, or it might be better to do it that way. Let me see if any other questions come in, but I think we got most of them.
Hey, Sarah.
Yes.
Could we go over again one more time when we will be able to have their status for their application change? I know that some students will see the graduation status on there as applied, and they're wanting to know, like, when will that change? Thank you.
Sure. So you're going to show as applied or pending all the way through the end of the semester. Your graduation status will not change until after your grades post. So, and again, grades typically post after the graduation ceremony. So at that point is when advisors are able to start going in and certify you for graduation. So this will probably happen a week or two following the posting of grades is when your advisor would be able to go in and actually certify you for graduation. That certification then gets sent to the registrar's office. The registrar's office is who actually confers your degree so that it shows as awarded on your transcript, and so that an employer could potentially do a graduation verification. That will probably be maybe 3 weeks or so after the closing of the semester, probably at minimum. If you need your graduation verification faster than that, contact your advisor and we can see what we can do to expedite it for you. But typically it is going to take a couple of weeks at least. And then the actual diploma itself gets mailed through a third-party vendor, and that can take a couple of months to get to you. Did I sufficiently answer that question, Arlene?
You sure did. Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, Arlene, do you see any other questions you think we need to cover, or you think we're good?
I think we're good. I think a lot of the things can certainly be answered through the website that we have posted, and which I have also put into the live Q&A part. So for those of you interested in the master's program, there is a link in there. Also, again, the website for the graduation orientation and everything that we covered today is also listed there.
Also, I will mention this this whole session has been recorded. If you go back to the original invitation link, so if you want to see something again or watch it in more detail, if you click on the original link to today's session, you can watch the whole thing again. So it is available. All right, folks, I think we are coming to a close. So I just want to say congratulations again to all of our graduates. Especially the past 18 months or so, I know have been really tough to be a student. So y'all have done great. We are so proud of you and congratulations.